Welcome back to Consumer Behavior. This session is focused on Chapter 6, Consumer Attitudes and How to Shape Them, How to Change Them. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Oscar Wilde. Boy, isn't that the truth? Let's get into attitudes and how to change them. Attitudes are function and components of attitudes and consumer behavior. Attitude, a lasting general evaluation of people, objects, advertisement issues. A lasting general evaluation. Attitude, object, anything toward which one has an attitude. Person, place, animal, thing. Could be any of them. Could be life in general. I know people who just have an attitude from the minute they wake up. But once you understand attitudes and how to change them, you can really impact consumer behavior. Cognitive. This is a word that we've been seeing quite a bit the last couple of chapters. A mental process used to think, read, learn, remember, reason, pay attention, and ultimately comprehend information and turn it into knowledge. This knowledge impacts decisions and actions. This is just kind of a review. Like I said, we've gone through this in the past couple of chapters, but the cognitive is a very important thing to understand when you're dealing with consumer behavior. It's the mental process used to do all of the above. Attitudes guide our behavior. Persuasion, attitude, behavior. Persuasion is the process of forming or changing someone's attitude. It could be done in a TV commercial, personal experience, a friend's recommendation, a referral. It can be done a lot of ways to persuade somebody to change their attitude. Of course, the lasting general evaluation, comprised of cognitions and emotions. Cognitions, well, not always rational. They are quite a bit rational. Once they become an attitude, you believe these things. Usually positive or negative, you're nowhere in between. Explicit and implicit elements. Implicit includes some of the things you believe. Explicit is the stimuli that's coming to you from external sources. Attitude behavior link depends on attitude, commitment, social context, social pressure, norms, and ultimately it guides consumer behavior. This is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Functional theory of attitudes per Katz. Utilitarian function relates to rewards and punishments. Value expressive expresses consumers' values or self-concept. Ego, defensive function. We've all got our egos one way or the other. Some are bigger than others. But we protect ourselves from external threats or internal feelings. Knowledge function, need for order, structure, and meaning. These are all part of the functional theory of attitudes. Fast and slow, cognitive and effective components. Fast, autonomous and intuitive. A slow attitude, deliberate and analytic. The multi-attribute model for attitudes. For example, we're going to use the example of a college selection. Here is somebody looking to evaluate colleges, and you've got across the top the attribute Warren, Ivy, State, Northland. These are different schools. Importance, overall importance, which is the I, and then they rank the different universities and where they list women, proximity to home, athletics, what have you. You have a relative advantage, perceived linkages. You form attributes, and selection is influenced by a chart like this. For example, here, the Warren attitude score would win. I guess that's the one that you want to find out more about is Warren because of the reputation. They're all getting high marks. It's a multi-attribute model that has to do with attitudes. I feel it. Moods shape our judgments. Temporary positive, negative, affective states. Emotions such as happiness, anger, and fear tend to be more intense. They relate to a specific triggering event, such as receiving an awesome gift. That can change your mood. That can put you in a mood. If you told a loved one to get you one thing and they got you totally unrelated, irrelevant other thing, that'll put you in a mood. Emotions rule our brain as part of the neuromarketing strategies, neuromarketing theories. But it's, I feel it. Moods shape our judgment. That is so true. Does it feel right? Does it feel good? Attitudes, reasoned action, subjective norm, the effects of what we believe other people think we should do. Two factors measure subjective norms. The intensity of a belief that others believe we should take or not take some action, and the motivation to comply with that belief. That is very true in many consumer purchase decisions, many consumer actions, and consumer behaviors as a whole. Attitudes and learning hierarchies. Think, feel, do. Do, feel, think. Feel, do, think. Examples of decisions you made during each of these progressions. You guys, you all have examples of these decisions. There's no need to really get into those, but we've all gone through each one of these. Think, feel, do. That is something that needs to be, researched possibly. You research the rational attributes of a product. You go take a look, and you start feel good about one brand versus another, and then you actually pull the trigger. Do, feel, think. Get your change back at a convenience store or a drugstore and look down, grab a Reese cup. Do, feel, think. Get in your car, open it up, enjoy it, and think to yourself, why did I do that? I'm on my way to dinner. Feel, do, think. This can be an example of feel, do, think could be having a great day at work and on your way home decide you are going to stop and get that scarf you've had your eye on at some boutique store. You do, and then you think, you either think, oh, wow, I really didn't. I've been waiting this long. I didn't need to do that today. Or, oh my God, I'm so happy. I've been wanting this for so long, but it's driven by a feeling, a good feeling that you have, or something. Maybe you're going to go buy, somebody did a nice thing for you and you want to buy them a thank you gift. You feel good about it, you do it, and then you think, okay, I hope they enjoy, or I hope they don't take the wrong meaning. But those are all examples of this. How we form attitudes. Compliance, lowest level, gains rewards or avoids punishments. We will comply with things to gain a reward or avoid a punishment. Identification, mid-level, conform to another person or group. Internalization, which is the highest level, attitude becomes part of a person's value system. That all three of these are very obvious when you get to know people, why they do things or why they don't do things. Attitudes, consistency principle, seek harmony among thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. We'll change components to make them consistent when attitudes, behaviors are inconsistent. This is a principle that says your attitudes are shaped and you shape your attitudes. Sometimes you gotta think about things and make them fit. For example, when you change the components to make them consistent with your current attitudes and behaviors so that everything is working together. We simply may form an attitude toward a brand due to classical conditioning. Marketer repeatedly pairs an attitude object, such as the Pepsi name, with a catchy tagline. We like the tagline, we like the Pepsi. Persuasion, how marketers change attitudes. Exposure to a message, likelihood to elaborate, low, high. Peripheral route, more effective process, fast persuasion, belief change, behavior change, attitude change. The central route, on the other hand, more cognitive, slow persuasion, cognitive responses, belief and attitude change, behavior change. These are how the approaches that people take. The effective one is more of a emotional route. The cognitive one gives people more things to think about. It also has to do with different product categories, different service categories, have different reasons for going one way or the other. But this is the exposure to messages and how it travels through and gets the attitude change or behavior change. And the attitude change is what you want. Persuasive communications, you have the source, the message, the medium, media, receiving device, feedback process. All five of these, the source, that could be car wash, message, you see a billboard, medium, billboard, receiving device, things like that. But all these are used as persuasive communications. Modern communications model, you have the source, which provides the message, and the mediums goes to the consumer and another consumer and another consumer. And nowadays, with the way people can write reviews online, which is very powerful, and people talk and people can quickly get the phone out and text message back and forth. It is really a committee decision. Once that message and the medium conveys that message, it is so easy to find out more about what other people think and what other people might have experienced with whatever product or service you're looking for. And that is the modern communications model. Consumer to consumer talking, sharing ideas, sharing viewpoints, sharing experiences. Influencing attitudes, reaching and engaging your target. Who will be in the ad? How should we construct the ad? What media should we use? All three are very important and paid serious attention to by any ad agency designing an ad. Same day delivery, easy as a selfie. They show a lady. I'm sure that has to do with who shops Target. But influencing attitudes, reaching and engaging. You can reach them, but if you don't engage them, it's a waste of money. Types of message appeals. You have the rational and the emotional, looking at the left-hand column, the gray shaded boxes. Comparative, gain frame, two-sided, safety, scarcity, reciprocity. Valiance and the frame, for example, the two-sided, positive, negative, logical inferences, balanced perspective. You look at comparative, positive, negative, relative advantage, high performance, better value, independence. These are all different types of message appeals that are used quite successfully in many cases. You look down at the emotional status and the emotional column, positive, exclusivity, high end, status, it delivers status, this product, service, whatever it is. Rolex watches, completely built on status, and they do a good job of it. How long should a campaign run? Well, this is very important. When you look at this chart here, this graph, positive effect, neutral effect, negative effect, wherein repetition helps consumers become familiar with a brand and builds trust. Wear out, too much repetition leads consumer fatigue and the effectiveness decreases. Now, I know these are just lines to demonstrate the, how the things that you should be watching, but anytime you do a campaign, and sometimes you'll see an ad on TV and just tune out right away because you've seen it so many times. there is a point when the net effect crosses the number of exposures into the negative effect. And what that negative effect is, it doesn't mean that you're changing anyone's attitude to not think, you're just not impacting the attitude at all. They're tuning it out like, oh my God, I've seen this so many times. All right, can't you come up with something new? That is it. And it's the type of thing where it's wasted money. If you're running advertising that is not even being acknowledged, it's a waste of money. So you do need to keep track of the wear in and wear out phases. And that is it for chapter 6, attitudes and how to change them. This will be posted on Canvas. And if you have any questions, contact me and I will talk to you soon.